Hey, welcome back everyone to another video. So it took some time for me to get settled in Japan, but now I'm back and I actually did do some work in the times that I couldn't sleep. I have pretty bad insomnia and I live in a shared house, so people wake me up quite often. That's my fault, not their fault. I'm just a light sleeper. But anyways, I got plenty of time to do some work while I couldn't sleep. So the thing I've been working on is making the game more accessible. When I take the game to meetups, the first thing I stumble across is that the game is just really hard to play. You have to use 3 buttons to perform the flip, and I think that's the biggest problem. Running around and jumping, that's all fine, people are familiar with that. That's the same as pretty much any platformer. But yeah, the flip is the biggest problem. So you can see the controller on screen, so you can actually see how the game controls. So you use A to jump, then you use the trigger to flip, and then you use X to tuck. So in order to do a tucked flip, you actually have to press 3 buttons, which is kind of difficult. So I've been experimenting with assists that can help you to perform the flip. So I made 3 different assist modes. The first one is the light assist. That's what I've called it for now. And what it does, it kind of helps you to rotate correctly. Sometimes you let go too early or too late and you over rotate or you under rotate. But now if you let go, the character will keep flipping. So if you flip and you let go too early, you will actually always land on your feet. The character will keep rotating even after you let go. So it kind of moves you to the bottom point in order to land correctly. Then there's the heavy assist mode, and what that does is that it kind of eliminates the need to press the X button. So you just use the trigger and you tuck automatically. So you only have to use 2 buttons instead of 3, which hopefully is already a lot easier. And then there's the auto flip, which completely eliminates the need to hold any buttons. You just press a button once and it performs a single flip. So you can press the trigger just a single time to flip forward or flip backwards. And hopefully that will make it easy enough for less experienced players or maybe kids to play the game. And just in case it's not completely clear, I can imagine that it's kind of hard to understand these 3 flip modes. I've just let Pip fly in the air here. So this is the non-assisted flip. If I release the button, he just pretty much stops flipping. So that's the completely unassisted default mode. Then I'll add the light flip here, and you can see when I release, Pip rotates towards the bottom in order to land successfully. So it kind of assists you in the flip. Then there's the heavy assist mode that just tucks automatically for you, so you don't have to hold X anymore. And then there's the auto flip, and that just requires you to press the flip button once and you'll perform a whole flip. So right from the start there was this kind of battle between making the game kinda hardcore and difficult. It's aimed towards speedrunners after all, so it's supposed to be pretty hard. And you also want the controls to be satisfying. When you do a flip, it feels really nice when you time it correctly and you land, and you get points. It feels really nice. But at the same time you want to give players who are less skilled also the opportunity to get this feeling. And with these 3 levels of assist, I hope I can find a solution for people of every skill level. So the first level of assist is not so heavy, it assists you, but just a tiny bit, maybe just enough to help you get into the flips and get a feeling for it. Then maybe you can later move on to non-assisted flips once you got a feel for it. And then there's the heavy assist if you need just a tiny bit more help. And if it's just way too hard for you, which I can imagine, it's kind of difficult to use 3 buttons at the same time, then there's the auto flip. And you can still enjoy the game, it still feels nice, and I hope people can still enjoy the game this way if it would be too hard for them otherwise. So that's pretty much it for this week. I hope I can playtest this soon, maybe with my housemates. I live in a shared house in Japan now, so I should have plenty of opportunity to test the game with people of all skill levels. So maybe you'll get to see a bit of that next week, I'm not sure yet. But anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys again next week.